AI has recently taken the world by storm. Not that it hasn't been around for a while, however, there have been massive leaps and bounds. Whether that's getting ChatGPT to write your papers for college or listening to the presidents of the United States play video games on a Discord server.
Okay, so who's gonna buy the realm?
Not me. I bought the realm last time.
What's a realm?
Pretty much everybody who's on the internet can see that AI is very quickly making its way into our everyday lives. And so that got me thinking, what does this mean for the gaming industry? Honestly, I think it's gonna be a lot of good things. I think it's gonna be a lot of bad things and some really, really bad things. Recently, somebody took the ChatGPT software and integrated it into Skyrim VR. What does that mean exactly? Well, when you play Skyrim VR, it can detect your voice. You can go up to different NPCs and ask them questions.
Hey pal, you just blowing from Stupid Town?
Not only that, but it will use ChatGPT to auto-generate a response. It's actually pretty crazy. Look at this.
So were you ever told campfire stories?
Let me think. Yes, my family and I used to tell campfire stories during our hunting trips.
While this is a really cool thing that can happen, it got me wondering about the pros and cons of AI used in gaming. And as I've been having a lot of discussions with people, I wanted to start off with the pros and how AI is going to help move the gaming industry into the next phase. And one of the very first pros that I think is going to happen is something that I kind of just shared with you. I think NPCs are going to become crazy, immersive, creative, in-depth things in gaming. When you're looking for a game, especially role-playing games, you want to be immersed in the game as much as possible. Especially if you're a VR player like me, the idea of immersing yourself in this world is really big. That's kind of the whole selling point of it. If we're going to be at a point where we can start asking NPCs questions and they can tailor their responses to the things that we're saying to them, that's pretty awesome, especially by the fact that they'll be able to respond in real time. So if I'm saying, hey, can you tell me exactly how to get to this village? They should be able to give me an in-depth description as to where that village is, or maybe even a reason as to why they don't know the answer. Not only that, but it really brings the NPCs to life as you can kind of ask them about their individual lives. Imagine being able to go up to a blacksmith and say, hey, how did your family end up here? And being able to get some sort of response to that isn't just like predetermined dialogue is a pretty enticing thing. I also think it'd be really cool to someday see something like a charisma bar. As you spend time around NPCs, you ask them questions, you talk to them, and you're able to essentially influence the things that they do or they say for you. Also imagine that these NPCs go out and they live lives of their own and they have experiences, and then they can come back and talk to you about it. Again, really just makes the worlds that you play in feel very, very alive. One of the next things that I think is a pro in AI in gaming is procedurally generated content.
What?
Now, this isn't necessarily a new concept and it's not like it hasn't been implemented before, but I think we're just going to see the next level of content being able to be created by these AI. If you're playing a game and you get more content, more levels, more maps, more quests, things that are completely tailored to your experience, making it a unique experience, also adding to the replay value of some of these games, that is going to be huge in the gaming industry. Not only that, but it's going to save a massive amount of time and resources. If you can pretty much set up these codes and kind of guide the AI to do these things, you can accomplish a lot more. One of the things that I just don't think people really realize is the amount of time that goes into making games, into making immersive worlds. And with the assistance of AI, this is going to drastically cut down time. Another pro that I think is going to come with AI in gaming is intelligent game design. So what do I mean by that? One of the first things that I think of is balancing gameplay mechanics. If the AI is able to tell your level of difficulty that you're desiring, if they're able to tell how good you are, if they're able to tell how bad you are, it will be able to fluctuate slightly to meet your specific needs. So if you're finding yourself playing a game that's incredibly hard and you want like an adaptive AI experience that's going to make it a little bit easier to you based off of your skills, it'll be able to do that and give you a more enjoyable experience. However, on the opposite side, if you're breezing through a game pretty fast and you find it not giving you much of a challenge that you want, it may be able to improve the enemy abilities so that it becomes more of a challenge for you. Obviously, there are difficulty settings, but if you fine tune this, if you use AI to do this, it's going to give you the level of difficulty that you want. Because while there are gamers out there that want a hardcore challenge, like the hardest thing that they could do, there are also gamers that want to just experience the game and don't want to rage quit and throw their controller at the wall. This also just might be able to help people improve their gameplay if the game is able to identify and adapt to what you're doing wrong and be able to tell you what you're doing wrong. It's the next step in gameplay. And one of the last big pros that I think AI could do for gaming is proactive game testing. I'm gonna be honest, guys, there are so many buggy games that are coming out lately. I really don't think that's a secret. There's a lot of freaking buggy games that are coming out, and they're not being properly tested, or they're not really being properly developed. However, as people start implementing AI into their game testing, they should be able to procedurally generate thousands upon thousands of scenarios to try and get the game to break. If they do this, they'll be able to identify bugs and glitches well before the game actually launches, comes out, hits the market, and people are extremely disappointed with the product. Now, I don't think that's an excuse for people to not make good games or not to take the time to actually make their games run well, but it'll give a lot less excuses for people to actually come out with a game that has bugs in it. Now, when it comes to the cons, this is an alarming list. As much as I'm really looking forward to all the pros of AI in gaming, I'm very, very worried about the cons. This one I feel like kind of goes without saying, but a lot of people are just not realizing there's going to be a massive amount of jobs that are lost to AI. This isn't even just in the gaming industry, but it definitely affects the gaming industry. As things are going to be procedurally generated, you're going to have less game designers. As AI is able to take the voice of one or two people and stretch them across their NPCs, voice actors are going to lose their jobs. And as I said before, if AI is going to be continually testing these games, looking for bugs and glitches, your game testers are also going to be out of a job. The unfortunate part is, as AI grows, the amount of basic human involvement is just going to shrink. It doesn't make sense for these big companies to hire a ton of people and to pay a ton of people if they don't have to. Now, obviously, we would hope that they would continue to do that, but these people are in it for money. That makes sense. They're companies. They're looking to make a product. They're looking to make a profit. It's just inevitable there are going to be jobs that are lost. Another con is also just a lack of creativity. Now, one of the things about AI is that it's not necessarily able to generate anything new. Almost all AIs that are out there are taking information, they're taking images, graphics, all these kinds of things. They're not generating anything new. They're taking what's already existing and putting it into a new form. Now, while there's still a lot of opportunities for things to feel fresh and new, eventually, new things aren't going to be created if they don't already exist. We don't have existing data for new creative elements. We have to create those. The human imagination and creativity is a huge integral part of game design. If we lose out to AI on this, we lose out to creativity. I feel like this one is a little bit more up to your personal opinion, but ethically, AI could be a problem. Number one, as I just said, if AI is taking things that already exist and generating them into new things, essentially you're taking it from somebody else. That's why AI artwork is such a huge controversial issue in the world right now. People are using AI artwork, selling it, and making profits off of the data that was already there from somebody else's artwork. The same thing is going to be said and could be said about games that are AI generating things for their product. Also, we could see things like NPCs exhibiting discriminatory behaviors, certain biases. It's an iffy subject, which leads me into my next con is it's still unpredictable. We have a general idea of what AI is capable of doing, and we have a general idea that it's going to give us roughly what we're asking it for. However, that's not always the case. As people start putting this in their games and their products, you're not going to 100% of the time be able to exactly predict what's going to happen with it. Now, obviously, as we continue down the road of AI, we're going to get better and better at it. These are going to do it more accurately, but it's still never going to be fully predictable. I'm not just talking about bugs, I'm talking about responses, NPC responses, things it's going to generate. That could definitely be a huge issue in the gaming industry. And the final con, and I think it is the biggest thing and the most dangerous thing for AI when it comes to the gaming industry, is manipulation. With AI in the hands of the gaming industry, or pretty much any industry in general, they are able to collect your data and manipulate you into doing the things that it wants you to do. It's already happening, and AI is only going to make it worse. So when you get onto things like YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, no matter what it is, they're collecting data on you, and they're using that data to manipulate you into spending more time on their product, spending more money on their products. They're essentially making it so that you are addicted to it. Now imagine if you're in an immersive game where you're able to talk to these NPCs, you're able to learn about them, what they could do to you. Obviously not a physical what could they do, but a mental and emotional what could they do to you. There are already people out there that are addicted to video games. I used to be. While adding in new AI elements will make it an extremely exciting experience, the downside is the manipulation aspect of it. There are going to be marketing strategies that are using AI in these games to try and get you to spend more time and money on their product. And there will be data that will be collected on you to determine what your type of behavior is while playing these games, and they're going to use it to exploit you. I would love to hear your comments on this list, especially the last one, because I do worry about it sometimes. However, if used in the proper way with the proper safeguards, I think AI in video games could be a fantastic addition. It's been a little while since I posted, guys. I am back at it. I'm here. Needed some time off. We're back, baby. Here at the Lumberjack Gaming channel, we're all about building a community of gamers who love gaming. It's their passion. They want to talk about it. They want to uplift each other. If that sounds like something that you want to be a part of, make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. That being said, love to hear you guys' comments, and I'll see you in the next one.